Hello there makers. So the sales silly season is upon us, and every year this is the period of the year where we see our most sales. I think it's like 20 to 40% of small business sales happen in the kind of November, December period, which is crazy. So how do you cope with the increased amount of work, the increased amount of stress? Today I'm going to give you, I think, 16 tips. There's a lot of stuff to talk about today to help you to cope with the silly sales season so that you get through it with your sanity intact. There's a lot of S's going on today. With your sanity intact and are ready for the new year rather than being completely and utterly burnt out by the end of the year. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jess and I've been running my own successful handmade business since 2008, which I took full-time in 2010, and that business is called Ethereal. Since 2013, I've also been helping other makers like myself and like you work out how to turn your handmade hobby into a thriving, profitable business via my YouTube channel, podcast, blog, courses, membership site, and much more. Okay, so this is the crazy season, the busy season, the silly season. We have, Black Friday, I'm on the wrong Friday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, there's Christmas specials and sales, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. In Australia, there's also Boxing Day, which is a day after Christmas. So it's a crazy season, and obviously everybody's buying gifts for everybody else. And not only is it a busy season in our business, it's a busy season in our personal lives as well. So it's really easy to get overwhelmed and stressed and worn out during this period of the year. Today, I want to talk about ways to try to curtail that and stop that from happening. Now, before you watch this, if you haven't already, most importantly, you should have all your holiday promotions and products all planned and ready to go by now. Actually, holiday products should be in your shop by now. If not, if you haven't got all of the holiday promotions and things like that sorted, then I have two suggestions for you. Go have a listen to the Create and Thrive podcast. It's episode 20, which is my Handmade Biz holiday prep checklist. Go through that list and make sure you've got all of that stuff sorted. That will put you in a good position moving forward to the rest of the year. And if you're watching this later and you're like, oh, I totally screwed up this year, that'll help you with next year as well. And also, I think it's episode 41, of my other podcast, the Business of Making podcast, which is I co-host with two other wonderful ladies. We talk all about this as well, getting ready for the Christmas sales season. So I'm not going to cover all of that stuff again. I will touch on some of the details that are in those two podcast episodes. I will put the links in the description below so you can go and listen to those, and that is more on this topic of getting ready for the sales season. Okay, number one, you just need to accept that you will be busy. There is no way around it. You are going to be busy at this time of year. Acceptance is half the battle, because if you're constantly fighting against it, you're going to get even more stressed out. So accept that, yes, this is the busy season, but it has an end. It doesn't last forever. By the end of the year, you will be able to relax and it'll all be over and you can move on. And in the meantime, I know what helps me, and that's thinking about the money I'm earning. So think about all the extra money you're earning. I know it's extra work, but it is really worth it to put the effort in at this time of year to take advantage of the fact that people are buying stuff for their friends and family. So with that in mind, number two is schedule some downtime for yourself after the silly season is over. By scheduling that in now, you have something to look forward to. You have a bit of downtime in your calendar and you know it's coming. And that really helps as well when it's, when you're really, really busy and things are crazy. It really helps to be able to just go, okay, it's all fine. I know I'm busy, but I've got this wonderful thing. Maybe you take yourself away for a weekend. Maybe you go get a massage. Maybe just take yourself to the beach or the slopes for the day. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be super fancy, but just setting aside, preferably at least a whole day for you to have for yourself and have a break. And that will make a big difference. Okay, number three, keep your exercise schedule. Or if you don't already have one, if you don't already have one now, it's probably not the time to start. But when you're busy is the most important time to stick to your exercise schedule, because it's, well, one, it's easy for it to fall by the wayside when you're busy, but two, it helps you stay less stressed. Exercise reduces stress. Not only that, but it gets you out and it gets you away from your work for a little while, gives your brain a break, and gives your body a chance to, use up that cortisol, get rid of that stress hormone by actually moving your body and exercising. So what does that look like? It can be as easy as going for a 20-minute walk, basically minimum of 20 minutes of some sort of exercise that elevates your heart rate to a decent level. Don't overthink it. That's simple as that. Do that. Make sure you stick to that. If you already have an exercise schedule, awesome. If you don't, maybe just incorporating that 20 minutes of walking just to get yourself out of your workspace and give your body a chance to move and get rid of all the kinks, because repetitive stress injury is a thing, people. If we're doing a lot more work than normal, especially even if we're just at the computer or whether we're working in the studio, by giving your body a break and a chance to move in different ways, you're going to help yourself to be sustainable for the entire holiday season, rather than getting injured or burning out or getting too exhausted too soon and not being able to push through the whole season. All right, number 4, you need to make sure that you've done a stock take. Now, not only a stock take of your stock, so the things you have already made, you also need to do a stock take of all your materials or anything that you might be making, if you offer made to order. And very importantly, do a stock take of your shipping requirements. So all of your shipping paraphernalia, make sure you have all of that, so that you don't get to a point somewhere in this silly season and go, oh my God, I don't have enough ribbon or I've run out of envelopes or whatever it might be, because the last thing you need in the middle of a busy period is to have to scramble around to go get that sort of stuff. So make sure to do a stock take now if you haven't already. Order all the stuff that you need to order so it's all on hand. That makes life a lot easier. I learned this one the hard way back in the beginning, my first few years. I think it was like my second or third year in business. I didn't do this, and I got a big order from a return customer, a good customer, and I didn't have the materials to make the order. I had to put a rush order in with my supplier and hope that they would get there in time, that I could actually get the thing made, shipped, and to her by Christmas. It was a close thing, but I managed to do it. However, it was incredibly stressful, and I really recommend that you do not do that. Do not what I did. Make sure that you've done your stock take, you have all your stock that you could possibly need, and you're good to go for the holiday season. Okay, number 5 is when you are busy, that is the time to have good time management strategies in place. One of my favorites, and the thing that I use when I'm super busy, is the Pomodoro technique. If you've never heard of this, it's just a technique where you schedule work periods and break periods, and you literally use a timer so that you don't overdo one or the other. So the traditional period is 20 minutes of work and 5 minutes of rest. I find that too short. I can't get enough done in 20 minutes. My personal favorite is I schedule 45 minutes of work and then 15 minutes of rest. And I just use a timer on the timer app on my phone. There are heaps of Pomodoro and time management apps you can download if you want to use one of those, but it's very important to use the timer. Do not rely on just going, oh yeah, I'll remember to stop in 45 minutes, because you won't. Or even more importantly, I'll remember after having a 15-minute break to get back to work, because you won't. At least if you're like me and you get stuck into reading a novel or something. And that's the key, when you do have your break, you get up, you go have a glass of water, maybe you go for a little walk around the house, do something completely different, go outside, look around, maybe read a bit of something non-work related or play a game, whatever it might be. You want to do something that will give you your body and brain a break from your work. So then after that 15 minutes is up, you're refreshed and you're ready to go and dive back into it and really, really focus for that 45 minutes. It's a great trick on your brain, because it makes it much easier to really focus, because there's an end point. That there's an alarm that's going to go off and tell you when it's time to stop. And frankly, human beings really can't focus for more than 90 minutes at a stretch. So if you're trying to work past that 90-minute time, you're going to find you're really struggling and your attention's wandering. So keep those work periods shorter, and you'll find yourself much more focused. Now, you might be thinking, oh my God, 15 minutes every hour, that's a long time to take a break. But if you're just working through, say, for 5 hours straight without a break, chances are a lot of that time you'll find yourself getting distracted, your mind will be wandering because you're not focusing well. So it's better to really focus during that work time and have the break time. Go get yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee during that time. Whatever it is, having that scheduled break time really, really helps. Okay, number 6, set cutoff times and stick to them. So what's a cutoff time? It is the last possible day that you will take orders for delivery by, usually Christmas. You have to make sure that you set these dates early and educate your customers about them. Do not just go, I'll just close my shop or stop taking orders at some stage, because you'll end up in trouble. People will order too late. You won't have time to get stuff done. So think about what's your production time, what's the shipping time, work back from the date, say Christmas, December 25th, work back from there, and then make sure to put those cutoff dates in your shop. What's the last date that people can buy your stuff and that you will guarantee that it will arrive in time for Christmas? Now, you might have a couple of these. So for example, I have an international cutoff date and a domestic cutoff date because the shipping times are a lot different. You might also decide to offer, say, a free express post domestic upgrade for that last little period so you can keep selling a bit longer. If you do that, then just release that as a bonus at that time. But make sure to set these dates and make sure to stick to them, because they will make your life a lot easier. You need to plaster them all over your shop. You need to this is really important. If anybody orders after that date, you need to email them and tell them explicitly that this item is not guaranteed to arrive in time for Christmas, so that they can't come back and go, but it should have arrived. You've informed them, you've told them, and give them the option to cancel. If it's, if they didn't read, hopefully it should be like if you're on Etsy, for example, it should be like the top of your description should be, my Christmas cutoff dates are this, and when the cutoff date is passed, you can, because you can bulk edit in Etsy, you can change that line to, my Christmas cutoff date is passed. Please note, if you order this now, it's not guaranteed to arrive in time for Christmas. Be that explicit. Put it on your banner, put it, in your shop announcement, in all of your marketing efforts. Make sure to email it out to your list. Tell people and make it really obvious so that they aren't disappointed and you aren't disappointed. And keeping that in mind, number 7 is don't make promises you cannot keep. So set expectations. Number 6, set your expectations for when things can be delivered, and then stick to them. Do not get tempted by the shiny dollar and promise something that you cannot fulfill. This is a really dangerous thing to do, because it's much, much better to lose a customer or lose out on a sale now than it is to get the sale but then not follow through and deliver, especially when it comes to things like Christmas, or if you're in the wedding industry, same sort of thing. You do not want to promise something that you cannot then deliver, because you will end up with an unhappy, angry, upset customer because you said, hey, yeah, it'll be fine, and then it did not arrive. It is not fine. So don't be tempted to promise things that you cannot deliver. Just know what your limits are, stick to them, and I promise it is the better way to go. And I know you're nice, I know you want to help people, I know somebody really wants this thing that you make, and you're like, oh, I really want to get that, want them to have it, and they might be like, oh, I've fallen in love with your thing and it's the only one that I found that I like. And I understand that you feel pressured, but you just have to stick to your guns. Don't let the guilt get to you. That person has made the choice to wait until now to do their shopping. They have made the choice, and if the fact of the matter is you can't deliver it on time, you can't deliver it on time, and that's all you can do. You can't promise something that you can't deliver. So don't do it. Just stick to your guns and only promise what you can actually deliver. All right, number 8, turn off those bloody notifications. Seriously. I think you should always have them off. That is my personal opinion. I do not have any dings or bings or little pop-ups or anything on my phone or on my computer. None of that happens, because that stuff is consistently distracting. Turn it all off, people. Turn it all off. Get rid of those notifications. You should be checking things when you're ready to process them or work on them. You should be checking Instagram when you're ready to actually interact on there or to put a post on there, not just picking up your phone, constantly getting distracted every time something dings or your email comes through or a Facebook message or a notification. There's so many things that can ding at you these days, and it's just constant distraction. So turn it all off because if there's ever a time you need to focus, it is now. So make sure you're not being distracted by all those notifications. Turn them off, get rid of them. Schedule in time. Like if you are like flat out and you have heaps of messages going on, you're constantly talking to people at this time of year and you're handling it all, do it once an hour. Like during that work period, set a period like in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Okay, I'll check my Instagram DMs. I'll check my email quickly. I'll check my Facebook messages for all those conversations that are going on, if they're happening, and I'll reply to them. And then I'll come back in an hour and do it again. Or maybe even better, every 2 hours because you're not Superwoman or Superman. You need to get your other work done, not be constantly distracted from that work by, checking messages. So just highly recommend, turn it all off. Focus on the work you're doing and go check all of those services at a defined time, and you'll find yourself being much more productive. Okay, number 9 sort of harks back a bit to what I was a few points ago where I was saying, don't overpromise. This one is don't overcommit. And that means don't overcommit in your business, but also don't overcommit in your personal life at this time of year. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. You might have parties to go to, you might have family gatherings, you might be putting on a family gathering or two. Don't overcommit on top of what you can actually do. Especially like if you're in business and you've been in business long enough that you are really busy at this time of year, you know that this is a crazy time of year for work. And you can't necessarily commit to all of the things that you may have been able to commit to in the past. So be realistic about it. Don't stretch yourself too thin by overcommitting to all of these things in your personal life. Pick and choose the things that are really important to you and really important to the people you care about, and leave the rest by the wayside. This is not the time of year to be like signing up for extra courses and going to heaps of networking events or whatever. Like, keep to the basics, focus on what's most important. That's your close family and friends and your business and your sales. That's the most important thing, your customers at this time of year. So don't overcommit, don't overschedule yourself. Make sure to bring it all in at this time of year and really focus on the most important things. Okay, number 10, get help if you need it. So there's lots of ways this can look for you. Getting help in your business. Maybe you get someone in to help you with the packing. Maybe you get someone in to help you with the customer service at this time of year. Maybe you get someone in to help you with some of the production. There's lots of different elements of your business that you can get help in. One of my Thriver Circle members made a really good point the other day, and she said, especially in Australia. So in Australia, Christmas is over the summer holidays. So the school kids have 6 to 8 weeks off, right? So she said what she does is she actually gets a local teenager, like an older teenager who finished school at the beginning of December. They got time on their hands. They want to make a bit of money over the Christmas period. So she hires one of the or two of them to come in and help her with things like packaging, because that's something you can teach pretty easily, and taking things to the post office for her. So think about that. Think out of the box. Where in your community are there people who need a little bit of seasonal work? How can you get in touch with them and then offer them that seasonal work? Or even online, getting someone to help you with some of your customer communications or something like that. And don't forget, getting help in your personal life will be incredibly helpful as well. Maybe hiring a cleaner, getting the people in your family to do a little bit extra at that time of year, pull their weight, take some more of the houseworky stuff off you so you have the time to do it. Getting extra childcare so you have some, especially Aussie mums and dads whose kids are off school. It's kind of a terrible position. You've got your kids home and it's the busiest time of the year. Get some extra childcare, get some extra help. One thing I suggest is a great little way around this. If you're like, well, I can't really afford to pay for more childcare, try to make friends with other people like you in your community, other makers who work from home, and then you can swap childcare responsibilities. Imagine that you can take all the kids one day, they can take all the kids the next day, and then you get a full day of being able to work with no distractions. So look for opportunities like that. Ways that you can get help from friends, family, community, and staff as well at this time of year to make things a little bit easier. All right, number 11, make sure to drink enough water. It's probably, Aussies like me, this time of year, it's getting hot. I'm probably not going to forget to drink enough water, but if you're in a cold climate, it might be easy to do. Don't just drink coffee all day. I know it's tempting. Now, and I will put my hand up and say I don't actually drink or ingest caffeine. I gave caffeine up a couple of years ago. Best thing I ever did. If you're interested in me doing a video on that, I would let me know and I will tell you all about my journey giving up caffeine and why I did it and how it's helped. But if you are one of the coffee and tea drinkers of the world, make sure not to just be, hyping yourself up on caffeine all day. Make sure to drink water. You know what else I'm going to say? Keep eating healthy food. Make sure you're not just eating junk food and eating on the run. Make sure that you're taking care of your body and your physical health, because it's all you have, people. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to get worn out, stressed, and if your body is not working properly, you can't do your work, can you? So take care of yourself and, save the junk food for those delicious holiday meals that are coming up. Aren't they so good? Yes, they are. Number 12, have you done your own Christmas shopping yet? If you haven't, get it done. Get it done now before things get crazy. Get it out of the way so that is taken care of. Do your shopping. Hey, especially if you're shopping online, because hello, you want to support the creative community, the maker community, right? So shop online, get it done now. Make sure they've got time to make your beautiful gifts and deliver them to you before Christmas, and make sure you've got your own holiday shopping out of the way so you can tick that off your list and move on and focus on your business during this time. Number 13, if you haven't already done this, carve out designated work time, designated work hours. This is a game changer if you don't already do it. Now, I understand people's circumstances are different. You might have a full-time job, you might have family and kids you're responsible for. But the best thing you can do at this time of year, because it is so busy, is try to actually put in your schedule, in your calendar, designated work time, which honestly you should be doing already. But if you're not, it's more important than ever to have that time aside, even if it's an hour here, there, and whatever. If you have an appointment, you put it in your calendar. If your kids or your spouse has an appointment, you put it in your calendar and treat it like an appointment with somebody else. It's an appointment with your business. You can't just Skype it. You have to honor it. Think of it as an appointment with your customers. You can't just fob them off. You need to get the work done. So set work hours and do your best to stick to them. And obviously at this time of year, they're probably going to be longer than normal. So be aware of that and try to schedule them in. Number 14, with the last one in mind, you really need to educate your family and friends about your availability. Now, this is a drama, I guess, I've seen a lot of people come up against, is family and friends who don't really understand what you're doing. They don't really get it. And they're like, you're at home. Of course you're available. I can just drop around and chat to you. I can just ring you and you're going to be able to just stop and chat with me, right? No, that is not how it works. And I say to them, well, if I was at a job, would you just stop round and expect me to walk outside and talk to you? Or would you just call me up and expect me to talk with you if I was at work? No. Well, it's exactly the same thing. This is my work time. I need to get my work done. I can't chat right now or come and have coffee or do this thing for you. You have to educate your family and friends that this is work time. It's not playtime, it's not fun time, it's work time, it's serious. I take it seriously and you have to take it seriously first. If you don't take it seriously, no one else is going to take it seriously. So you take your work time seriously, teach your family and friends that they also have to take it seriously and leave you be to get your work done during that time. It might be a bit awkward and a bit frustrating at first, but I guarantee you it will be worth it in the long run. Number 15, pre-make any stock you can now. If you have designs that you can pre-make, then get a whole bunch more done than you normally would. Make sure you have a backlog of stock, especially if you know you have best sellers. And if you've been in business a while, you'll get a sense of the things that sell well, especially at Christmas time. Make sure to make extras ahead of time, and then you've got them there, and that reduces your workload. If you are getting those made to order orders coming in, you can go, oh yes, I've already got that one made. Let's send it out the door. So getting those like highly popular products pre-made now is a really, really great idea. Even a little bit earlier would have been great, but hey, whatever, we can do what we can do. So get those things made and you will have a little bit less work to do in the future. And finally, number 16, so many tips. Number 16 is schedule as much marketing stuff now as possible. So emails, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, Pinterest pins, carrier pigeons, banners in the sky behind an airplane. I don't know, whatever sorts of marketing you do, schedule and plan as much of it now that you can, so that when it gets busy towards mid-November to mid-December, you don't have to worry about it. It's like, yes, thank you, past Jess, for doing all of that work now so that I don't have to do it. Good job, fist bump. So get it done now, get the work done, planned ahead, and that means you can just take a bit of a breather and go, okay, my marketing does not completely collapse and fall apart, because this is the most important time of the year to keep it up. Preferably you have some sort of Christmas sort of marketing schedule planned. Maybe you've got a gift guide that you're going to release, to your email, on your blog, and drip it out on your social media. That's a great one to do. You can put together a gift guide of your own products. I'll put a link below to my own gift guide that I usually put one together most years. I'll put one together this year, and I will put a link to that in my description so you can have a look at what I'm talking about. It's like, hey, here's a great gift for mum, or here's a great gift for your boss, or whatever it is, and pick your products that you think would be great gifts for certain people. Like, make it easy on them. Make it easy on your customers, and they go, oh yeah, that is a great gift for my mother-in-law. So put together a gift guide like that, send it out to your email list, drip feed the items on social media. You can schedule all that up now, people, and then it will keep your marketing efforts going through the busy season. And that is it. I know I threw a lot at you in today's episode, but there's a lot of things you can do now to make your life a lot easier in the long run. I would love to hear from you. What are the things that you have found really helpful for you in the past? Or out of these things that I listed today, which ones kind of went, oh yeah, I really need to do that? Like, what's your number one thing that you're going to throw in there? Tell me in the comments, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, come over to Instagram at Create and Thrive and hit me up in the DMs. Tell me what you took away from this episode today and what you think is going to be one of your biggest struggles in this holiday season. And if it's your first holiday season, good luck. If it's your 5th or 20th holiday season, also good luck. I hope you have a fantastic sales season and your business goes from strength to strength for the rest of the year and beyond. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a thumbs up. That really helps people to find the video, and it helps me to know that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out there for you. And of course, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos that I am sending your way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again soon with another video that will help your handmade business to thrive. Bye for now.